Hi there, this is Beejal Parmar, and today we're going to be talking about which opportunity to focus on when you either have multiple businesses or multiple revenue streams within a business. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name again is Beejal Parmar. I'm a business acceleration strategist and joint venture consultant. And I also speak on stage, and if you've ever been to my event, you'll know that I like to put on a character or two, but I use a character really as a metaphor for the content that I teach. And I teach in areas of business strategy, productivity, self-discovery, marketing, and mindset. So again, the question we want to answer is, which opportunity should I focus on? So I'm sure we've all been exposed to the concept of multiple streams of income. And when famous people are telling us that never focus on one stream of income, that means that we start to look at different opportunities in the property market, the stock trading, different various businesses, online businesses. Maybe you're becoming a speaker or an author, you are a speaker or author. And all of a sudden, from one opportunity, we find ourselves with many. Now, in theory, this should make us all very successful. We start off juggling with one or two balls, suddenly we're juggling several balls. Next thing we know it, we are in a state of overwhelm and doing too much by ourselves. And that can often make us kind of grumpy and sad and frustrated in the world at large. So, why do people do this? Why do people chase so many opportunities? Is it greed, desperation, shiny objects, status, power, control? Is it just a limiting belief that one or two won't satisfy your financial needs? Is it just an addiction? Is it like crack or cocaine, where you're just kind of addicted to the work, or is it the feeling of missing out on something? Let's take a Lego tower. What's easier to build, a single Lego tower or multiple Lego towers simultaneously? Now, I did this exercise with my kids, or my daughter, and I had her build two towers. The first tower was a single tower, and she had to get it to a certain height. She had to get it to over 10 inches, and we timed her. And the only rule was that she couldn't put the same color on the previous color. So she couldn't put two reds together, she couldn't put two yellows together. So it could go blue, red, yellow, green, but no two colors simultaneously. And then I had to do the second exercise, which was to build multiple towers simultaneously. The rules changed. In this rule, she couldn't put one block on the tower she was building. So imagine four towers, and tower one had one block. Then she'd have to go to tower two, put a block on there. But the same color rule applied. Now, when the single tower she built reached a certain height, that tower would start to generate revenue. And then we played the second game when we had multiple towers being built. And the same rule applied. When the towers reached over 10 inches, those towers started to generate revenue. Well, what happened was, in doing that, she realized that it was much easier to build one tower at a time versus building multiple towers. And once you built the first tower correctly, it starts to generate revenue. So it's actually feeding into the bank account. Well, this got me thinking about how do I, get this point across to entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, no matter how many times I tell them to focus on, one or two businesses or one or two income methodologies, they still find the need to chase multiple streams of income simultaneously, and sometimes not one is really optimized. So this is explaining. So what do? Do you build one tower or do you build multiple towers at the same time? Well, I think the only way to answer this is do this exercise yourself. Get some Duplo Lego bricks and actually do this. And while in theory you'll say, of course, it's better to build one tower, you're more focused, it's easier to build, but yet as entrepreneurs we tend to gravitate towards building multiple towers and making life way more complex. But if a kid can answer the question, I'm sure you can see the logic too. So let's look at models of how to actually focus. So the first model is very simple: focus or fail. And that model is very simple. You focus on one opportunity, you focus on it hard and you work it hard, and you're either going to succeed or it's going to fail. And I like to use a 90-day rule for this, which is you focus on something for 90 days. If it's meant to be, doors will open up, sales will come, you'll get stuff done. If it's not, doors will stay shut, and that's, for me, is an indication. As long as you're working it the way it should be worked. Okay, but that's the obvious one. Now look at income number two, multiple income stacking. I want to rewrite that. So going from multiple income streams to multiple income stacking, which means that build one income stream first, get it making money, get it to an optimal level, then delegate the operations, delegate the marketing, delegate the sales. So you're no longer having to manage this 40 hours per week. You can do it in just a few hours per week, and your team is doing the rest. And once you've done that, then you can focus on number 2 and number 3 and so on. Okay, model number 3, priority matrix. Now, you'll need to create a 3 by 3 grid, and along the lower axis, the horizontal axis, you're going to go from low profit, medium profit to high profit, and across the vertical axis, we're going to go high effort, medium effort, low effort. And the zones is the green zone. That's the first priority in terms of whatever venture falls into that square is the one to focus on. Then we're going to go to second priority, and that's basically the blue square, then the orange square, and finally the red square, which is probably, don't bother. So let me show you how that's plotted out. So let's say we have 5 ventures. Venture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's take venture number 1. We ask ourselves the question, is this a high profit business? Well, let me rephrase. So let's say venture 1 is high profit but high effort. So that's going to go in the lower right quadrant. Let's take venture number 2. We'll grade that as a medium profit but low effort. So it's pretty easy to pull off, and it's going to give you a decent return. And venture number 3 is medium profit, medium effort. And venture number 4 is high profit and low effort. That one falls slap bang in the middle of the green square right there. So that means that we're going to prioritize our efforts on the venture number 4 or income stream number 4, and that should deserve your highest priority because it's going to be high profit and low effort. That's kind of obvious. Then we're going to go to venture number 2, and this one's going to be basically a medium profit and low effort. Then we're going to go to venture number 3, which is medium profit, medium effort, and we're probably going to leave out the ones which fall in the red zone for the time being until we've got the other 3, to its maximum profit level, and then delegate it out. Okay, model number 4, the 3P business model. One of my mentors told me that first build a solid platform. There are a lot of gurus out there who talk about passion and chasing your passion, and you can turn your passion into prosperity, and that's all well and good in theory. The reality is we need to pay bills, and it's far easier to build businesses when we have our platform or our foundation taken care of. So the first priority is build that platform. You may not like it, but it's going to provide a stable base for you to do the rest of the work. Now, once you've built the platform, then you can choose to either go the passion route or prosperity route. So what is a platform? So a platform is usually a business that requires a lot of effort to set up, and quite often it's going to take a lot of effort for you to run. So in terms of you're exchanging your time for income. A passion business is something you just love doing, that even if you were not getting paid for it, you would do it anyway. So for me, that's the speaking and training. I love doing it. It doesn't represent the biggest part of our income, but it's a considerable part of our income. But yet, more than anything else, it's something that we just love to do. And the final edge of the triangle is a prosperity triangle. It's a prosperity edge. Now, this edge represents a business that may take a lot of effort to set up, but once it's set up, it doesn't involve you to make the money. You're not the one doing presentations. You're not the one doing webinars. You're simply managing a business, and there are people in the business that are the ones running it. So what might that look like? Well, it could look like a company that makes products, and so the products are made by the manufacturing department and sold by a sales and marketing department. Maybe it's a software product that you've overseen the development of, but now it's your team is the one really selling it. So it's kind of hands off. If you are involved in terms of, if it's still centered around your day-to-day activity, in terms of you're doing webinars, you're doing presentations, then it's not a prosperity business. You're still trading time for dollars. So again, I like to start off by helping my clients build their platform, and then need to focus on passion or prosperity depending on their preference. So that's the presentation for today. Hope that was useful to you. Again, this is Beejal Parmar, and I invite you to create rapid results in your business and in your life.